What is up, everybody? JD here. Hope you're doing well today. Got a new one in from Remette. Let's take a look at it. We have the meteor or the meteor. I'm not quite sure. Can't read the handwriting. Probably should have looked it up on the website, but I'm more interested in the knife than I am the name anyway. You have a all titanium construction. You have a 3/4 length titanium back spacer, titanium pocket clip, and you do have what I believe is the Chinese version of the camo carbon. But I will say, looking a little less like it's trying to be cartoonish and a little bit more serious due to the subdued color. So I do appreciate that they're pulling the colors down. I just wish they could get the vibrant color with the reduced amount that they put into the carbon fiber. They could do that. That would be absolutely awesome. Dual means of deployment. You have thumb studs with a front flipper. It is a frame lock that is operated with a button. Happy to see that, which means it's got a good detent. You have a spear point blade shape here with M390 blade steel. Nice neutral handle, so the ergos on this are very comfortable and they didn't ruin it with any harsh edges. So I am able to get a nice full 4-finger grip, very comfortable in the hand, very happy to use. And of course, because it is a button operated frame lock, you can use the frame lock or you can use the button to drop it. Either way, the action on this is extremely smooth. The detent on it is tuned well. So I do like the detent feel on it. It is very well tuned for that front flipper and has a more than good, I'd say more than good tune for the thumb studs. Pocket clip done very nicely on this one. It easily clears for the pants and has the clearance to go all the way deep. You do have a lanyard post in the back if you choose to ride with a lanyard. They did a wraparound back spacer, which I really appreciate, and you do have nice centering on this particular one. Very thin M390 blade on here, even though it is a spear point and the thickest part of the ground is kind of in the middle here. It punctures well and it cuts well because of the fact that the swedge has a reduced drag. It starts with a relatively thin blade stock and it has a nice grind. The M390 on this one, I believe from Remette, is being heat treated at the typical, if I recall, 59 to 61. I believe we've seen their M390 hitting at 60.5. Pretty standard for production M390. Would it be better at a higher heat treat? Yes, but are you going to get really good edge retention with this M390 regardless? Yes, because that is solid enough to where for an EDC it'll perform well. Not necessarily saying the best. Spyderco did M390. I'm sure it would outperform this, but this is still very solid and it's a conscious effort not to be at 58, 59. It is hitting closer to the 61. The inlays and transitions are really good. I don't know why I felt by the bar lock. Remette does a very good job of making sure that these finishes are quite well done, especially at the price point. Again, I want to emphasize at the price point, it is a very impressively finished knife. Now, the sharpening toil is done well. The plunge grind, if they could get it back just a little bit more, it's not a finger guard or finger toil. So it's like dead in the middle where it stops. It's still going to be good sharpening life, don't get me wrong. But if they could bring it back, you could take it even further if you wanted to take it to the extreme and use it down to the bone, if you would. Access to the lock bar, even though, again, it has the button, is good. I can get to it from the side. I can lift it up with the index easily. And of course, if you want to do the old European style disengagement, I'm not really sure why it's called that. And I don't even know that I have that name right. But if you like to do the slide to disengage and roll it forward, it works well for that. And then the button's very easy to use right or left-handed. And you got a mini bolster here. So for the means of deployment that are on here, you can use this left-handed. I have no pocket clip on this side to be able to do that, and it does look like it is nested down in there, so it's not reversible, even though you could enjoy this as a lefty. Let's go ahead and do some size comparisons, and then we'll go ahead and weigh the knife. Just going to do some comparing to what I'm carrying in the pocket here today. Still getting unpacked and settled, so trying to move stuff around that I'm working on unpacking to get the things for size comparisons. A little hard to do right now, but I'll be more consistent with it in the future. Having said that, I have my Concept Raven here, which is my companion carry, a little bit smaller than the Meteor. I'm not quite sure. Again, hard to read that handwriting. And then I have my Tri-Stash here, version 2 with the 154 cm, larger carry, closer in size to that Tri-Stash. Let me go ahead and get these out of the way. Let's grab the scale and check the weight on this all titanium built knife. Okay, guys, we have the scale out. Let's cut her on. I'm thinking this is going to be like 3.8, 3.9 with that full titanium backspacer. Feels like it's got a little bit of weight to it, coming in at 4.1. So I wasn't sure that I was willing to go over 4 with the guess, but it is slightly over 4 ounces. And again, full titanium backspacer, all titanium constructed handles, pretty decent sized blade on it. 4.1, not really that bad considering, and certainly an acceptable weight for EDC. All right, time for my final thoughts and impressions on this one. It is very impressive at the price point, and that is one of the factors that I take into account when I grade these on my scale from 1 to 10, with 10 being the best, is money for value, again, price point, the performance with the cutting and the ergos, the aesthetics, which can be subjective, and overall, just how I vibe with the knife pretty much on these when I grade them. And, I grade them independent. I'm not really, there's no set the bar knife that I think of when I grade these. So bouncing around, on this particular one, that money for value is really good on this one. It is going to bump it up a little bit. I think I'm going to go 8.1. I'll link it down below. I have affiliate links. When you use them, it helps the channel. Totally up to you guys. If you enjoyed the video, a like would be appreciated. And a comment down below to let me know what you think about this, or just to say, hey, always helps the algorithm. And if you're not subscribed, as I mentioned, a lot of my viewers are not subscribed. Your subscription helps and goes really far with the channel. So thank you if you choose to do that. Shout out to my channel members. Love you guys. That's it for me today. Thanks for hanging out. I'll catch you on the next one. Goodbye.